So, this is it, 73 yards. After 3 episodes building up the Doctor and companion team of 15 and Ruby, we finally end up with the episode that changed it all. This was the tale of Ruby Sunday, and how a woman kept following her for the rest of her life. Always there, always standing, and always out of 73 yards. I've been wanting to review this episode ever since it came out, but was the episode itself the crown jewel of the series, or are we looking more at a bad apple of the bunch? In this episode, we have Ruby taking more of the main character role as the Doctor disappears in the beginning, after sharing the limelight with the Doctor for her first 4 adventures. For her, this is a rather big situation as she has to deal with so early in her time as the Doctor's companion. Also, along with this, it was Millie's first episode filmed and the first episode shot for the series, with a lack of shooting due to sex education needing to be wrapped up at the time. So a lot was riding on Millie for her attempt to hit it out of the park for this series. And you know what? There was definitely no need to worry, as Millie definitely hit it out of the park, and then some. I love how Millie was able to change her side of acting to fit all the different stages of Ruby's journey throughout the episode. From her startled reactions when she sees the woman for the first time interacting with a hiker, played by Susan Twist, to the small but powerful reaction she has at the stadium sequence, which I will talk about in the future section. I'd say if you're looking for a massive and great showcase for Millie as an actor, then this episode definitely would be something to look forward to in the future. However, if I did have one gripe with the episode, I do wish that they kept Millie on as the older version of Ruby at the end. Like how they did to getting Karen and Jenna to play older versions of their characters. It would have been nice as we would have seen a more sadder end to Ruby, as we would have seen the last vegetables of her life being played out by Millie, showing a sort of finality between the young and the old versions through the same eyes, as we saw all those years ago. With this episode being Dr. Light, Shruti's version of the Doctor is only in the beginning and the end of the episode before and after his disappearance. However, the 2 scenes he is in do make you miss his presence throughout the rest of the episode, especially as the situation gets worse and worse for Ruby, as she loses more and more people that she can trust, and definitely in the scenes where she faces off against Roger Aquilium, which, if he was around, he maybe would have found a different way to stop his plans of mass destruction. But since she isn't, Ruby's memories of him give him the final push that she must do to stop Roger and his plans, even if she has no TARDIS, no sonic screwdriver, and a woman that's just following her every 73 yards away from her. And perhaps that's all you need to save the world. For our atypical villain, we have Roger Aquilium. Now, if you've noticed throughout the years, we've had many different evil Prime Ministers in Russell's runs of the Doctor Who, so Roger himself was up to some very devious competition. And, well, he was definitely able to leave a big impression in the story with his plan to destroy the world with nukes, despite the fact he tried to get away with saying it on TV. But apart from that, I do think we missed out on a big proper scene that would have been a great character piece in the episode had it been put in. And that's a scene of him in the 2020s, perhaps during the earlier scenes near the pub, doing one of his old jobs as Mad Jack. I think had we seen him during this time, we would have maybe had that missing scene that would have showed his humanity and gotten him to see him a little bit differently before we would have seen his proper rise to power 20 years later. The episode also gave us the person known as the Woman, who by the end of the episode we find out is a lifeline version of the future Ruby from the end of her life, who keeps a hold of Ruby and stays with her from the moment that the Doctor disappears until the day that Ruby passes away, way off into the future. And can I say that she was probably one of the spookiest, most creepiest things in the show. I think it was the fact that we don't hear what she says during her talks with the other characters, or perhaps it was the way that she'd stand there, menacingly. And the best scene out of the episode? Well, it had to be the one at the stadium, with Ruby, the Prime Minister, and a plan to use the Woman to save the world. In the grand scheme of things, the scene may only show Ruby with a phone using a camera walking on the pitch to entice the Woman to talk to Roger, but actually, it's just so much more than that. It shows Ruby willing with a plan, that she knew that if it backfired, it could have had her killed or arrested in her attempt, but she went through it anyways, taking every step backwards whilst everyone in the world is shouting around her to stop, just so it could work. It's a very Doctor moment in an episode without the Doctor being there, meaning that Ruby had to take over the role. It's a well-earned one, and I'm glad in the end she ended up saving everybody's life doing the simplest thing that she could do to help, despite the consequences. Plus, the scene's fantastically acted by everybody involved, most of all with the subtle performance by Millie. It is also incredibly directed by Dylan Holmes-Williams, whose work throughout the whole episode should be commended. In conclusion, 73 Yards is definitely an episode I would solely recommend for people who want a different slice of Doctor Who, like Midnight, Turn Left or Heaven Sent. It's those once-in-a-while special episodes that really makes you think about it afterwards. I also think it's a one that had you not been convinced by Ruby Sunday after the first 4 episodes as the companion, you probably would be at the end of this episode. I can't wait to see how Russell and the new writing staff do with her in Season 2. I do hope we get another Ruby-centric one in what it looks like to be the more busier Season 2/Series 15. Anyways, this is it for my reviews of Series 14. I can say overall it was a different and definitely experimental series compared to the first Whittaker series, which I still liked, but I think I sort of preferred this one to that. But apart from that, I guess it's Dot and Bubble next week. Not sure who's doing that, but I hope they have a good job with it. And as always, I'll be seeing you, my friend.